guest. Oh my goodness. Welcome to the palace. Okay, hello. Welcome to my channel. A little birdie told me that you guys miss our Sunday dinner chats, and I already had dinner, so we're not gonna have dinner together, but I thought that I would just sit with you guys and talk a bit about some things I've been thinking about lately. I think that this year was full of lessons. Also, in line with that, in life, you know, if you get bit by a snake, if something bad happens to you, if someone betrays you, it's never the initial snake bite that will kill you. It's the venom that you let pulse through your veins after. It's the venom that you let stay in your body. And I think that it's so easy in life and so tempting to hold grudges, to stay jaded. But I think something that can really help with that is whenever you think about someone that you think has wronged you or an unfair event, detach from it and just send them love. The thing is, like, even people that have fucked me over in the past or who I feel like, I don't know, disappointed me in some way, I feel very just neutral about them. Like, I don't feel any hate towards them. I don't love them, but, like, you know, I send them love. I underlined this quote that I've been thinking a lot about lately, and it says, "Nothing under heaven is softer and weaker than water, yet nothing can better break what is hard and strong. In this, nothing can take the place of water." It's not by becoming jaded, by becoming hard, by becoming rough around the edges that we become strong. It's by going with the flow, like water, you know? I think that we're always gonna have another obstacle. We're always gonna have things go wrong in our life, but the most important thing is how we feel. For example, I'll wake up some mornings and I don't know, I'll feel down for no reason, and then sometimes I'll wake up and I'll feel great. But I have tools that I'm really grateful for every day that I can use that can make me feel better, you know? For example, getting dressed up in like a fantasy-esque way, make me feel very dreamy about life, you know? And, you know, my self-concept, I'll say to myself in the mirror, okay, this is a side note, but when I used to nanny, something that I noticed, whenever it was a baby, when you speak to a baby in a really sweet way and you're like, "Hi, oh my God, hi baby," they really relate and resonate with that high-pitched voice. And so for the fun, sometimes I'll speak in the mirror, not like a baby to myself, but I'll be like, "Oh my God, Shayna, you're so fun, you're so cool, everyone loves you." And it's silly in a sense, and I think that's why it makes us laugh, and probably why it makes the baby laugh as well. I know that a lot of you guys are lonely in life, or maybe you feel like you haven't found your people yet, but I think that it's important to keep really high standards to the people that you keep around yourself. For example, I really try to surround myself with people that hold space for me and think that I'm like the best thing since sliced bread, because I want to give that love to people and I want to feel that love in return. And I think as well, in line with that, it's you are as important as the opinions you seek. I always have to remind myself that, especially around creative projects. Like, sometimes I'll be like, I'd love to get like a second opinion, which I don't think is a bad thing. But at the end of the day, it's your intention and your eyes that are the most important thing. And remember, like, what you think, how you feel about yourself, how you feel about the things you make is the most important thing.
Before we get into the rest of the video, I want to take a few moments to talk to you about our paid partner of today's video, BetterHelp.
So if you guys don't know, BetterHelp is an online therapy resource, and what we love about it, especially during the holiday season, is you can do it from anywhere in the world, from the comfort of your own home, through video or on the phone. All you have to do is log in and message your counselor.
So how it works is you take a short questionnaire and then they will match you with a credentialed therapist.
It's a lot more affordable than traditional therapy, and like I said, with the holidays coming up, I think some of the thing that people struggle with a lot is it's a lot of family time. You know what I mean? And it's also a lot of intense family time. So I think it's important to have a sort of tool in your toolbox like BetterHelp. I think that people have this stigma around therapy that you get help when something's already broken, but in reality, I think that it's almost just like maintenance. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's been very beneficial for me personally. So if you guys would like to try out BetterHelp, I would highly recommend it. And they're actually offering 10% off your first month to anyone who is watching. All you have to do is go to betterhelp.com/purple. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/purple. So thank you so much to BetterHelp. And yeah, where were we? First of all, how cool is my shirt? I'm so obsessed with this. It's like, it's giving The Mask. It's giving Jim Carrey in The Mask. I actually did dress up as Jim Carrey in The Mask one Halloween. This Halloween was pretty fun. I went with my friend to this place called Le Hôtel Grand Amour, and they had like this pajama party. And so you're just supposed to come in your pajamas, but it was extremely cold. So I came in like a sort of really pretty 1970s-esque dress with my hair in this veil and with like very dark makeup, and they had, I don't know, like this pillow fight, and it was really cool. I met some really interesting people there. So that was my Halloween, and yeah, the end of the year is coming up very quickly. I'm going home, like I told you guys in my last video. I have a song coming out very soon, which I will tell you guys about. I've been having band practice, but something that has stayed very consistent in my life is trying to create space for myself to enjoy the little things in life. I feel like I always have so many projects going on and so many things that I could be stressed out about, but truly what I think is so important in the day-to-day is to find peace in the small, beautiful things like my vanilla cupcake candle. I also wanted to make this video recently because I've been thinking a lot lately about my superpowers as an artist, where I get my confidence from, what gives me power, because I think if we can locate that, then it just gives us another way to exploit it in a sense. For example, I'm someone that has very severe ADHD. For example, I just remember, like, for as long as I can remember, when I was a kid, I would just sit on the floor and just stare off into space and daydream for hours and create these scenarios in my head, like always very positive. And I think that that level of ADHD is almost a superpower in a sense, because you can get lost in your thoughts and you have no limit to your creativity. Like, I think I owe a lot of my creativity to my ADHD. So I wanted to share that if you guys also, I don't want to say suffer from that, because I don't feel like I suffer from it. It definitely, I think in some ways, hinders relationships in a sense. For example, we had our annual Halloween meetup and there was a girl there and we're talking about friendships, and she said to me that she thinks that friendships are hard for her because of her ADHD. And when we're speaking about it, she basically said that, you know, when you have ADHD, it can feel very overstimulating to have a lot of different connections. And I definitely feel that. For example, I think sometimes I didn't realize what it was before, but when I have a lot of people, you know, messaging me to hang out or to do this, especially if I don't see them a lot, like they'll just suddenly out of the blue, like every few months, be like, oh, hey, let's get a coffee. Like, that to me is extremely overstimulating, because my brain is having to process, like, okay, what is my relationship with this person? And so recently I've been really trying to reflect upon, like, what are the type of relationships that I want to have in my life. And I think that actually it's really important to me to have a few really good people in my life that I talk to consistently, and not so much a ton of connections that I see from time to time. Like, it's just too much, you know what I mean? And so that's been something that I've been thinking about. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments if you have a similar experience, because I think in this digital world, we have access to people, and people are following each other, and I know what's happening in the life of this person I went to high school with, but it's almost weird because they're taking up brain space when in your physical reality, they're not there. Also, in line with the whole ADHD thing, I've really realized this year the importance for me in creating systems, creating lists, in order to organize myself. For example, one thing that I do is I'll wake up in the morning and I will create a to-do list for the day, and then I'll work out and meditate. It's just so, it can be so annoying to get yourself to work out, but I'll just usually put on music and then I'm very into it, and it definitely has an effect on my mood for the rest of the day. I'll play piano or I'll play music. I'll try to stay the fuck off my phone, because I feel like the phone is like this black hole. Obviously it's an amazing tool for creatives, but a lot of times I feel like it's super detrimental. And the reason I think that systems are so important, not even if you have ADHD, but just in general as a creative, is a lot of times it can be hard to show up for yourself every day and have confidence in yourself, because we obviously go through highs and lows in life. But if you can't have confidence in yourself, create systems in which you can have confidence. For example, I have my factory policy up on the wall, and it's very cut and dry. You know, it's like, you need to be public speaking once a week. You need to be prioritizing, you know, music. And I don't just say that, like I also say concrete systems set in place, because I think it's easy as humans with an ego to be thinking about how other people are seeing you. I think that's a very normal thing, and it's easy to be like, just don't care, just be yourself. But I think it's a lot easier to have confidence in your systems, because it's very cut and dry. You know what I mean? For example, okay, all I have to do is wake up and meditate, and I check that off my little list. And I have confidence in that. The more that you can build self-trust, the more that you can show up for yourself, the more that you have that inner strength. Another reason why sort of systems has been a big revelation for me this last year is because I think that everything that you want in your life is on the other side of consistency. And that's something that I've struggled with a little bit this year. For example, with posting on social media, Instagram, TikTok, there's been periods where I've been really good about posting, and then other periods where I haven't been prioritizing it, which is fine, but at the same time, I'm sure that if I prioritize that consistency over posting from time to time, I'd have a much better result, you know. And I think it's the same around anything. For example, singing, I think it's better to try and sing every day for like 30 minutes than try to sing really hard once a week. That's just been sort of my feelings on that. And I think as well, when we focus on our systems and being consistent, when these mountains in our life show up, we have these things to fall back on that help us self-regulate. A lot of you guys are like me and are highly sensitive, and I think that something that I've really had to come to terms with this year is being a highly sensitive person can be a very lonely experience. And one of the reasons I love my ADHD so much is that when I'm not doing anything to prevent my ADHD, and I just let it be, then I could not give a shit. Like I really don't even care if I don't see people, because I'm just in my own world. And it's when I take like some ADHD medicine or something, then weirdly I feel like it kind of like makes me more of a normal member of society that wants like to hang out with people and have human connection, but I don't really like the way it makes me feel. Like, I don't like the way it makes me feel in the sense of, I don't know, like there's like a sort of soft sadness about it, you know what I mean? Like a sort of, or when I don't take it, I feel really happy and I'm just in my world making my art, and I get lost in my creations because it's very divergent type of thinking. Like, it's like, for example, I'll get on my synthesizer and then I'll just do that for hours and I won't come out of it. And then like if someone asks me to hang out, I sort of see them as a distraction. Yeah, anyway, I think it's lonely to be this kind of highly sensitive person, and all of my friends, that's the one thing they have in common, is they're extremely sensitive, like criers, but also like bad bitches too, you know what I mean? But I think it's a lonely experience because you're so watery in a sense, and you can't have like these surface level conversations, and so you really have to depend on yourself in a lot of ways, and it's a beautiful existence, and it's also what like I think pushed me to do YouTube to begin with. So yeah, these are just some little highlights that I've written down over the last few weeks about this past year. I think that it's been very humbling in a lot of ways, the ups and downs. But I always say that we learn through adversity, and like, who wants to just stay the same? That's why, for example, I try to always say yes to things recently, even if it might seem scary, or yeah, I try to stay open, and I hope that you guys will do the same. So thank you so much for watching. I am sending you so much love, and next time I will make us some pasta or something.